Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Chef Greycat's Kitchen. I'm Mike Greycat. Tonight we are making linguine and clam sauce. I have a 1-pound box of Barilla linguine, and to start off our seasonings, we have 3 large cloves of garlic. Once this is chopped, it'll equal about 2.5 tablespoons of curly parsley, 1 teaspoon of black ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 2 cans of chopped clams with the liquids reserved, and this is 1¼ pounds of fresh live clams. Here we have a 1/2 cup of a white Chardonnay. We have 2 tablespoons of butter, and we have 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, the spice of the gods. Anyway, like I've said in a previous video, the way you make sure your clams are good is if they are slightly open, you tap them, they will close up. None of these are open because when I transferred them from the tray, they bounced together and they all closed. So that means that they are good. I'm going to give this one a tap because it seems to be open just a touch. And there it goes. It just closed. Beautiful. Okay, so that's how you know your clams are good. If the clams don't close when you tap them, throw it out. You do not need food poisoning. The next step of this project is I'm going to take my garlic and my parsley, and I'm going to put them in my food processor to turn them into chopped finely garlic and parsley. I'll add a few drops of the reserved clam sauce just so that I can use a spatula to get it out of the food processor. So once that is done, I'm going to combine all of these in a pot. I will come back when I've done chopping up the parsley and the garlic, and I'll show you where we go from there as we combine everything. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. I didn't want to bore you with showing you how to use a food processor because you already know that. So anyway, the parsley and the garlic I have coarsely chopped in my food processor. I'm going to add those, not wasting anything because you know we hate to waste. And remember, butter is better with everything. Okay, now we've got our 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to add to that, and we are then going to move this pot to the stove, which is where I will move the tripod. Okay. And you'll notice my spatulas are pretty dented because I'm constantly doing that. But that's so that we don't waste. We hate waste. Okay, I will reposition the tripod. I will get this on the flame and be back. Okay, I've repositioned the camera, and now it's on the pot's on the stove. It's got the garlic and the parsley and the butter. I just turned the flame on to medium, and I'm going to whip that about with a rubber spatula. I kind of like these. They're cheap and they work well. And the butter's already beginning to melt. And I'm just going to give this a couple of minutes for the butter to melt and the garlic to release its flavor. Now don't worry if you've got some parsley stems in your ground parsley. There's a lot of flavor that comes from the stems, and so you don't want to just get rid of them. They're part of the flavor bouquet, that comes with parsley. Alright. Nothing worse than watching and waiting for a pot to boil. And this one's not even boiling. This is frying. Okay. My butter's now melted. It's doing a little bit of a sizzle. Okay. I'm going to add my salt, 1 teaspoon. My black pepper, ground, 1 teaspoon. Whoop, don't waste. There we go. I'm going to add my nutmeg. And that's all gone. And now I'm going to add one of the most flavorful things, my extra virgin olive oil. Okay, that's my 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Right now reserved, I have the wine, the chopped clams from the can, the live clams, which I put back into the refrigerator because we do want them live before we cook them, or else they'll be no good. So here I'm just letting this start to bubble up. And there we go. Once it's bubbling, you can take the clams that come from the can, throw them in there. And the reason I use clams from a can, chopped clams, is because to get the same amount from shelled Venus clams, like the ones that are in the fridge, I'd have to buy 100 or 2 and spend half a day shucking clams. And definitely that is not in my wheelhouse for cooking. I mean, it ain't gonna float my boat, not gonna float yours either, especially when it comes to feeding your family. Can't turn around and say, hey, we didn't do the laundry, we didn't do the chores, we didn't go grocery shopping because we were shucking clams. No, that's another person's job. Okay, we'll let this come back to a sizzle boil, kinda. Boy, I tell you, you can smell the garlic, and does that smell nice. Okay, in goes my 1/2 cup of Chardonnay, dry white. And we'll let that get to a boil. And that should start boiling pretty quickly. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Now, while this cooks, I do have to tell you, to garnish, you're going to want some fresh Parmesan or Parmesan Reggiano, and garlic bread goes great with this. And when I make the pasta, I have some asparagus left over from yesterday's video, so I'm going to cook that along with my pasta, throwing it in at the end when just before I'm about to drain the linguine, and this way it'll flash cook in the boiling water, and I'll have nice crispy asparagus within the linguine. Okay, this is boiling nicely now, so I'm going to add, let's see, I'd say about 7/8 of it. I've got a few tablespoons reserved because when I taste it for flavor, I'm going to want to either adjust the pepper, the wine, or the reserve. Okay. Now, I'm going to reduce the heat on this just a touch. and let it come back to a boil. I'm going to get a tablespoon and I'm going to take a taste. See where we are at. That's nice. That's nice. It's got plenty of salt. Plenty of flavor. In fact, I'd say, due to my taste buds, cut the salt in half. Only use a half teaspoon of salt. Okay. That's going to be coming to a boil in just a moment. And as soon as it does, we're going to drop our clams into it, our live clams. What are we doing? Are we bubbling yet, baby? There we go. I hope you can all see this. I should have set up another light, but that's my stupidity. Alright, we're boiling. Give my clams a little shake so they close up. Things are bubbling nicely here. And go our clams. Give them a little shuck around and they will open up. As soon as they are cooked, they will reveal their beautiful innards. Around Christmas time, you can find at Walmart these crazy little fondue forks, I guess they call them. They look like this. They're tiny, but buy them. They're usually $1 for a pack of 4, and they're perfect for pulling the clam meat out of the shell when you're eating them. So you set your table with a knife, fork, spoon, and one of those tiny little clam forks. And then you got a beautiful thing. Okay, you can see this one's starting to open up right here. I'm going to go a little higher on the heat because I do not want the clams to suffer. Oh no, please! Never mind. Anyway, so I'm bringing that back to a boil. Then I'm going to reduce it down to simmer, and I will make the linguine probably, since it's still early for me, probably in an hour, and I will keep this covered on warm, on low, and move it all to a back burner. And then once my linguine is cooked, I will present it on a plate, and you can see how it looks when it's done. But you can see now these clams are opening up, like that one there, this one here that I'm wrestling with. Well, yeah, they're open, and so now they're cooking nicely. They'll open up just a bit more as the muscle contracts, but basically once you got it nice boil going, you give it 1 or 2 minutes, then reduce it to low. You don't want to turn your clams into rubberized chewing things. I'm doing this recipe for 2 friends. One is Dr. Libby Lake, and She wants to make this for her husband for his birthday, so go for it, Libby. And Lainey, look what you're losing or missing out on. Beautiful. And now you see they're fully opened. And that's the way, there's another one, you know, that's the way they'll look when they're all done and fully cooked. Another one, they're just basically opening up completely. And this way you can use your little forks to pull that delicious clam meat out. And the sad thing is, these clams actually cost less than 80-20 ground beef per pound. Now granted, it's mostly shell, but you know, if you like a nice fresh clam dish, you can't beat this. And like I said, it's not like you're spending a fortune to do it, because it's cheaper than ground beef. And I tell you, this is a heck of a lot better than having a hamburger. I mean, I enjoy hamburgers, but heck, when it comes to taste, give me this any day. Okay, most of our clams are fully open. I'm going to put a lid on this baby and turn it down. And I'll be back when I cook the linguine. Alright, talk to you soon. Okay, well, here's our final creation. Our linguine clam sauce. We have our asparagus at this end, and we have some cheesy garlic bread at this end. It's so easy to make cheesy garlic bread, you just can't be without. And there's our beautiful clams over the linguine and clam sauce. So, bon appetit. I'll talk to you guys soon, and God bless you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.